I'll be the same. Welcome to We Synced It.
I think it.
Yes, it is a weekly podcast that focuses in on all the movies, the entertainment, and all the entertainment in between that fucked up. Hi, I am your host, Patrick.
Hello, Patrick.
And how's everybody doing today? Yeah. That's good. It's good, yeah.
Welcome to the Ultra Music Festival edition of We Synced It. We're here jamming out to some old school drum and bass.
Yeah. Oh man, we trying to get into drum and bass because you know it's like it's around you everywhere. Since you live in South Florida, it's like, damn, this shit is hot, and it plays in the background of every like bar or club you go to. So it's like, damn. And you try to ask, what's the name of the artist, and nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Like the DJ.
It's good background music.
Yeah.
Like you could chill to this,
or you can study to it,
or you could get hyped to this.
Yeah.
Too.
So yeah, we're really into it. So I mean, this whole month we might just go drum and bass, this whole kind of thing. And the artist that you're listening to now is called Dunu. So there it is. But how you doing, Kevin? Man, how things going, bro?
Everything is going well. We got a lot of things to talk about since we missed last week.
Yeah.
Dude, there's like some weird cold flu strain going around.
Yes, man.
Everyone that I know is getting sick, and like I had this weird ass fever, and then I started coughing like a storm. That's why we kind of skipped out.
Same thing happened to me the week before, and I thought it was. I'm like, oh shit, is this like a strand of like COVID or something like that? So I went to go get tested, and it wasn't. It was just like just a regular ass cold. But that shit, it really kicked my ass though.
Yeah, for sure. But it gave us the opportunity to compile a bunch of stuff that we're going to be talking about today. Since we missed out last weekend, we weren't able to review Avatar and several other things. So we're going to cover Avatar, The Last of Us, the 2023 nominations for the Academy Awards, Movie Pass making a comeback, Emily the Criminal that just came out on Netflix, and several other topics. What should we start off with first? Should we start off with Avatar, since that was like the oldest topic that we haven't been able to cover?
Yeah, let's start off with Avatar. We went to go see it back in December. I can't even say at the peak of it because it's still like doing fucking numbers. I think it's at like $2 billion worldwide. We went to go see it and didn't know that it was going to be in 3D. We just, I just bought the tickets. I have to admit that my expectations were kind of like just barren, but when I came out of that movie theater, I was like, yo, it was pretty cool. And the pacing wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, because the internet said that, the pacing is so bad you fill the 3 hours. I thought it was pretty cool because most of the stuff that they were showing, like visually, I've never seen before. So I took it in, and I just experienced the whole movie, and it was really, really good to watch. I fell in love with that movie. It was really good.
Yeah, I agree. The biggest criticism online was that the establishing shots, it was like too many of them. Yeah.
They reused some of those shots, like the one with the sun setting.
Yeah.
They used that shit about like 4 or 5 times. But I let that shit slide because, hey.
But there was one person online that I read, I was reading the review, and they were saying how the establishing shots was a character in its own. Like you can't forget that like they created an entire planet from scratch. It's not like what they've done in like other movies like Star Wars, where they went to an existing location in the world and turned it into a planet. Like, oh, we're gonna get this desert and make a whole desert planet, or we're gonna get these snowy mountains and make a planet out of it. Nah, they made a planet from scratch. So like the planet itself is a character. The landscapes were beautiful, all the underwater shots. It was highly entertaining just to watch. Like sitting there, it felt like I felt like I was in a ride. I felt like I was in a ride at Disney or something. But I am kind of happy that they're transitioning the story from Sully, the main character from the first movie, over to like now his family. I do think it should transition out, because I'm not crazy about his character at all. I don't think he can carry the movie, that franchise on his shoulders. But
you know how I feel about that actor, man.
Yeah,
I'm not a fan of him. I personally feel that there's certain actors that you can bet on that's going to bring like profit to a movie, or they're just great actors that you want to watch a movie because of that actor. And he is one of those names that's like, nah, man, I'm not watching that movie, because that dude was in a whole bunch of movies that are supposed to be franchises and they just flopped. And I think the only movie that he's got left is Avatar, which it didn't even, to be honest, I think anybody could have took that place, because that movie is pretty much is all pushed by the special effects. The special effects in any of those, in both Avatar movies, were the bread and butter. And James Cameron, the director and special effects, those are the only reasons why I watched the movie. Yeah. But continue what you were saying.
No. And I think he's not able to hold the franchise. I think Zoe Saldana can hold that weight. She's already proven herself with Marvel, you know, Guardians of the Galaxy and all these other big franchises.
But she was barely in this movie.
She was barely in the movie, but the times that she was in the movie, she did steal the scene.
Yeah, she did.
She stole the scene.
She cries like no other, bro.
Yeah. There's definitely some heart-wrenching moments in this movie, especially towards the second half of the film. But I think it was I think it was a good continuation. I think if they would have stuck to the forest and stuck to just a continuation off of the first movie, it probably would have been boring. Seeing another aspect, you have to remember that this planet is huge.
Yeah.
So there is gonna be some crazy new things that they're gonna introduce. I do love the fact that they introduced like a new type of these aliens, where it was like, okay, this is the water tribe, and they're a little bit different. They're the way their body is formed, it's a little bit more evolved, where that they can last in the water longer. And I thought that was really cool. And supposedly in the next movie, I think they're gonna show like a volcano avatar, like some like a fire tribe, you know, that's like all about like,
so they can swim in lava.
I don't think they can swim in lava, but they probably live in like really harsh conditions, that they're more thick-skinned than any of the other
why do I think they could swim in lava? What the hell am I thinking about? All right, yeah, I can see that. You want to talk about the story and how like the story was like basic. It was basic as it was like this story that they told with the whole father and the whole the rebellious son, and the son that's also like an identical replica of the actual father. And spoiler alert, you already know who's gonna die. It's gonna be the son that's basically a replica of the father. So the next movie you're gonna see that the father is gonna be forced to kind of like, let's see, like make the bond with the rebellious son more I don't know, more stable or something like I don't know, but this story has been told before 1,000 times, just like the last Avatar. But to be honest, like, it was like a footnote compared to everything else in this movie. I know, you know, I'm real heavy on story, but I don't know, man. It was just like the visuals and just seeing something new, even though it was a story that's already been told before, was just perfect. It was just like a nice touch. It wasn't too much. It was just right. And one negative I could say is that there were certain times that it just felt like it was a frame drop.
Yeah. Let's talk about that a little bit. So a lot of the scenes seemed very fluid.
Yeah.
Like there was even one point where I told Pat, like, it felt like a video game. Like it felt like you know, the animation that plays in between like the levels when it gets into like the story of the video game. Like there was no motion blur at all. But then there were times where it seemed like there was like the shutter speed was off or something, and it was like really like it got
real
really
choppy.
choppy.
Like it was like they dropped frames or something, and maybe it could have been because I know that maybe it went from 24 to was it 48?
Yeah.
And you know, maybe when they get to the action scenes, they take it to 48, and then when they get to like the little subtle scenes where, you know, it's just like drama and just dialogue, maybe they switch over to 24. But maybe like I could see the transitions in between, and it just gets real choppy, and it's like it's not as smooth.
Or maybe it has something to do with the actual projectors of the movie theaters. Maybe it's something that they need to adjust, where the projector's set to like 24 frames, and then if the movie changes frames, then that you know, it's going to affect the projector itself. I don't know.
That could be, maybe, because I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. So it could have been something that only our theater saw it, and nobody in the actual theater said anything but us. Because usually when I'm talking to people about this, nobody knows. They saw the movie and they didn't see it at all. So maybe my eyes are seeing something that nobody else is seeing. But the same thing happened when I saw what's the name of that movie? The Hobbit.
Yeah.
One of the Hobbits. I saw like there was it's like once you're watching it, you're watching it. It's like, okay, cool. This is good. This is good. And next, you know, you just start to see, and it's like, oh, it feels like I'm watching like live television, like news or some type of soap opera. Like it seems too clean, but it wasn't choppy. And Hobbit, in this one, it seemed like it was a little choppy, like they were taking stills, like somebody was running. I don't know. They were running Escape from Tarkov as their fucking somebody else trying to edit on the same fucking PC. I can't really explain it to people who don't like edit or anything like that, but you get it. I hope you do. I hope you do, because it was like certain scenes. It wasn't throughout the whole thing, but like pivotal, like key moments of like when they were fighting, and when they were fighting that's where it happened the most. And I just couldn't understand why.
As far as the story, there was a lot of duality. So like you see the villain is now one of the Na'vi, and he's trying to adjust, kind of like how the first character was doing in the first movie. But at the same time, like as he's adjusting, the protagonists in the movie are trying to adjust to this new water tribe. So it's like, it kind of felt like the first movie repeating all over again, where it's like, oh, they're learning how to adjust to the environment around them. But I think there was some cool duality between he has a son who's like the black sheep of the family, and then the son, there's a lot of that, like whole black sheep of their environment type of thing going on.
There was a whole bunch of black sheeps in this whole fucking movie, man.
Like, the whole movie felt rebellious. It was, everybody was rebellious.
Everybody's rebel. Everybody's wearing leather jackets. Everybody's sitting in chairs backwards. Everybody has a pack of cigarettes rolled up in their sleeves right here. Everybody's a rebel.
It's like
man.
watching the Outsiders.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it was.
But overall, what would you give this movie?
I would give this movie a out of 5.
Yeah.
I would give this movie 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would give it the same thing. I would give it a 3.5. I think
like it wasn't a bad movie. I would suggest people watch this movie.
Yeah.
I would say yeah. And on top of that, I would say watch it in theaters.
Oh, 100%. Regal Cinemas just announced that they're shutting down I think close to 20 movie theaters.
Really?
Yeah. So that they don't file for bankruptcy. So I am on the side of like, please go to the movie theaters.
Yeah, go to the movie theaters.
Let's save these movie theaters from going bankrupt. For sure. So, and I am, I know a lot of people were annoyed with James Cameron talking about, oh, I gotta make this much to keep on going. But I do think subliminally he was doing that to get people to come back to the movie theaters. I know there's a handful of directors that want to save the movie theater industry. I'm on that side. Like I think watching a movie in a theater is just a better experience. And like if I'm gonna watch a movie like on the scale of Avatar, I want to watch it in like the best possible experience that I can get. So I would prefer to watch it in the theater with like good speakers, scientifically proven seating, like there's a science behind that. I would choose to watch a movie like that. Like I refuse to watch Avatar like on my iPad, because I can't. If I'm gonna watch it, I want to watch it like on a big screen and like enjoy it the way it's supposed to be,
Yeah, I agree with you.